just the way to start the day. A good old cup of coffee. And for those of you who like your coffee, a little bit of a coffee connoisseur, the coffee you saw me with there is Liqueur coffee. And that is a coffee my wife's cousin has set up her own coffee business, so please go and have a look. I'll pop some links down below. If you do like your coffee, go and have a look. Check it out. It's absolutely marvellous. Anyway, on with the gardening, right? So today is the day. Things are going to the polytunnel, believe it or not. I've kind of given up on some of the tomatoes. I'm trying to hold that cup and it's absolutely boiling. Let me put it down there, right? Look at this, look. Oh dear. That's not so great. That's not so great. But there is some signs of hope. Look at that. There you go. That looks like a bit of a beauty. But alas, the tomatoes aren't going out just yet. That was just a little update on how we're doing there, because I've done a few videos on the tomatoes recently. But let's have a look over here. The chilies. The chilies are looking rather magnificent. And look at this. We've even got, can you see it there? We've even got a chilli here. And this is Hungarian hot wax. So we've already got a chilli on there. There's a second one just started growing there. There's a third one growing there. And they're in these tiny little pots at the moment. And I reckon when I take them out of there, they're probably going to be a little bit pot bound. But we've got the Kashmiri there as well. And the good old Carolina Reaper there, ready to go. You can see we're quite full in the greenhouse at the moment. I think I'm going to bring some extra shelving in here at some point. What you can't see is I've got a massive dahlia down here that's sprouted up from the tuber that's going to go outside soon. Got all sorts of stuff. The cosmos are looking massive. There's onions down here. There's more lettuces. And over this side, we've got marigolds, zinnias, more onions, shallots. The peas are getting a bit out of control down here. They're probably going to go out on Friday. We've got some chervil and a lot of courgettes back here. They're for a community project that I'm working on. We've got some kohlrabis down there, some broccolis. So it's all just a bit full. So it's time we were going up to the plot and getting things planted out in the polytunnel. Here we are, back at the plot in the polytunnel, ready to get stuff planted out. It's a bit warm in here today. I've got the back door open over here. You don't see that very often. We're up to 26 degrees. It was 27 just a minute ago. It's a bit hot and sweaty for working in here today. But there's two things I've got to do first of all. Please ignore this mess on this side. Everything's just been dumped over here. This is the side I'm going to sort of focus on getting stuff planted out today. Now these, let me show you these. Halo pots, these are what I use. Plant goes in here in the middle, water goes in here in the outside, and there's these little sort of proddy bits that go into the ground, and they've got holes in them. See water in there, and the water seeps in to the roots of the plant where it needs to. Now these were all used last year. They were a bit dirty. I had all good intentions of getting them cleaned over the winter, and I've never bothered, so now I've come to use them. They need to be cleaned because this gets compost in it. The little holes at the bottom get blocked up, so they all need cleaned out. And I was thinking, how can I clean? That's going to be a pain. I don't want to take them all home, get them all clean, bring them all back. But I'm going to use the new hose pipe. So we've got the pump set up over there, and we'll get them cleaned out there. Then we'll bring all the plants in, and we'll get started getting things planted out here. And it feels brilliant to be getting the polytunnel planted up again. Back with you in just a jiffy. So let's just have a very quick look at what's going on in here today. So these are the plants I've brought up to plant out. You've already seen these big old chilli plants at the back here. We've got some smaller sweet peppers at the front here. These ones are King of the North, and there's another one somewhere called Purple Beauty. The two varieties mixed in here. They're all labelled anyway. So when we plant them out, we'll see which ones which. I've got a couple of tomato plants here. Those of you again who follow the tomato saga, they're the backup ones from the garden centre, not from the greenhouse, from the garden centre. So they're going out today, and I've got two cucumbers as well. It's just a touch early for the cucumbers, but I mean, look at the size of this one, going all the way over here, round here, and back here. So it needs to go out, and this one has an actual cucumber grown on it, so that needs to go out as well. And I fully expect these two plants to be pot bound when I take them out. It's not ideal, but again, it's not the end of the world. I'll plant them in the soil. they'll get sorted and they'll recover pretty quick. Right, let me get set up and let's actually get some stuff planted out. And here we have it, the first plant of the season going in the polytunnel, and it is the Hungarian hot wax chili. We'll just pop it there for a second. So the way I do these halo pots is, let me move the plant out of the way so you can see. Just going to make a bit of a indent in the ground there so I know where the middle is, and I'm just going to dig out a wee hole. It's pretty dry, the compost in the polytunnel. I try to keep it pretty dry, apart from in the halos, which is where the plants are going to be, and that's to stop any weeds from germinating. You might have seen some of the other ones where we have a problem with thistles around here, and even now, even though it's so dry in here, in fact there's one there just trying to come up, the thistles germinate and come up. So let's have a look at how this is looking here. Like I say, I expect these to be a little bit pot bound because I've outgrown these pots a while ago there, so it's not too bad actually. You know, it is a tiny little bit, but not as bad I was thinking. Let me put the label to one side there. Now I'm just going to backfill this hole a little bit, but first of all, let me get one of the most important tools I have, and it's a cut up Amazon cardboard box, because we put that on top of the halo and it stops the compost going in to the halo as opposed to into the middle where I want it. So I'm going to put a little bit of fresh compost. You can see I've just spilt that all over there, and that would have gone right into the sort of the halo, well I was calling it the halo, like the watering bit of the halo pot on there. And one thing I am forgetting, let me grab it. And let me not put it in the way of the camera like I did it. This is going well, isn't it? Like I did with the last one. I'm just going to take that off there a wee second, and I'm just going to put that right in the bottom before I put that compost in. We'll do that with the next ones. I'm out of practice, you see. It's been a year since I've done this. So there's a good handful of bloodfish and bone at the bottom there. Let's knock all the compost out there. We'll put that back on the top. We will pop this plant in perfectly through the hole. Fortunately, it was at this exact moment that my microphone decided to stop working. So you've got me doing a little bit of a voiceover back here at home when I'm doing some editing. And basically, this is just me making a little bit of a mess of topping up the top of the halo pot there with some of the compost that I'm using to backfill the hole there. The compost, I should mention here, the compost that I'm using here is the Melcourt Silver Grow, one of my favourite peat-free composts to use. It is brilliant. I use it for a lot of my seedlings. I'm using it in the polytunnel this year as well for planting these out. I did get actually some of this Rocket Grow fruit and veg sort of stuff as well. I just got one bag of it to give it a try, and you know what? It was awful. It had such a sort of funky smell to it, and it's not good. So I used a little bit of it, doing some seedlings and some potting up and things like that. But it's going the journey. It's just going to be used to mulch a bed somewhere. Anyway, this is the halo pot. So I use the halo pots every year inside the polytunnel, like I said before. The brilliant thing about them is I only have to water inside the halo pot, as I can show you there, and all the way around about. So you don't have to worry about watering that whole bed, just this little bit inside the halo pot, and it gives the plant all the water that it needs. As well as this, one thing you have to be really careful with is when you're filling up that sort of central cup there that the plant goes into. When you're filling the compost up there, I always leave a gap at the top of around about 3/4 of an inch to inch, about 3 centimeters up from the top. And the reason is, so when you feed your plants in the polytunnel there, I always feed them from the top. Now, if you scoosh a load of water in there, what happens is the compost floats up and it comes over the top of the central cup there, and it flows into the sort of the water reservoir on the outside and blocks up all those little watering holes. Anyway, the sound is about to kick back in, so we shall cut back to the actual video. And as quick as a flash, I'm back. Let's have a look around and see how things are looking now. So, a little bit of a change in circumstances in this back corner here. I had one pepper plant left over, and I've squeezed it right in that corner. And apologies to those of you with OCD that have one green pot in that corner, but hey, that's the ones I had. So we've got one King of the North pepper there. We've got 3 chilies here, Kashmiri, California Reaper, and Hungarian hot wax. We've got a mix of King of the North and purple beauty peppers along here, and over here we've got 2 cucumbers. You can see the one ginormo cucumber all up there, that's got flowers on it already, so I'm hoping some little pollinators will come along and have a good look at them. And our 1 cucumber, 2 cucumbers on that plant over there that's already grown. That one at the back there you can see is Merlin, and if I just check the little label here, this one at the front here is Honey Plus. That's going all the way up over there. And if you come over to the other side, we've got 4 tomato plants. I thought we only had 3, but we've got the 3 sort of bigger ones here from the garden centre. And I'd accidentally added this one in. Now this is a blue cream one, and that is one of mine, and it's only teeny tiny again. I've had loads of problems with the tomatoes this year, so I thought, why not just put it in and give it a chance. That's the tomatoes there. Everything looks a little bit sad and a little bit saggy at the moment, but that's because it all needs watered, and that gives me a chance to try something out. And dare I say it, I'm almost done. But before I go, please think about subscribing. It's absolutely free. There's a little button thing that appears down there. You can see a little red square in the corner of the screen that says subscribe. If you click that, that will help you to subscribe. And like I say, it's absolutely free. So we've got the polytunnel planned out. Certainly this side is. We've got the chilies, we've got the sweet peppers, we've got a couple of cucumbers down there. Over the side we've got 4 tomatoes in, and I'm absolutely roasting in here at the moment. I should have put my hat back on. Up the other end here, where all this cardboard is, that's going to go outside hopefully the weekend there. A bit of a project going on out there, so watch out for that coming. We've got 2 more varieties of cucumbers to come. We've got melons, we've got aubergines, and the rest of the space in the middle here will be more tomato plants. Will they be my tomato plants though? We'll have to wait and see. Maybe it will, maybe it'll be more from the garden centre, maybe it'll be some from somewhere else, but I'll come to that when it's time to plant them out. Anyway, before I cook any further in this polytunnel, and it's telling me here it's 43 degrees in here at the moment because the sun is blasting through this side of the polytunnel at the moment. Thank you very much for watching, folks, and hopefully I'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.